Hello and welcome to Meridian News Now. I'm Caroline Miller. Thanks for joining us. The Wolverine Watchmen are facing charges for their alleged plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Judge Michael Stepka of the 86th District Court decreased house arrest and curfew for the brothers Michael and William Knoll. Thomas Siver, one of the lawyers representing the brothers, asked the judge to allow their tethers to be removed. Yet the Michigan Attorney General's office argued that regardless of the information presented, the brothers are still a risk to society. Judge Stepka did not grant the request to remove the brothers' tethers. We will keep you updated with this case as it unfolds. Based on recommendations from the Food and Drug Administration and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is asking that all Michigan providers temporarily pause the administration of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in Michigan. The temporary recommendation is based on the identification of 6 reported U.S. cases of a rare and severe type of blood clot in individuals after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Vaccine providers across the state have been instructed not to administer this vaccine at this time, while the CDC and FDA review further data and assure that clinicians are identifying and reporting any potential adverse reaction. Clinics that are scheduled to administer the Johnson & Johnson vaccine will either reschedule or use a different vaccine. The governor, along with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, recently announced additional efforts to reduce hospitalizations and deaths from COVID-19. This involves additional doses of monoclonal antibodies provided to infusion sites across the state. Monoclonal antibodies are laboratory-produced molecules that restore or mimic the immune system's attack on cells. Clinical trials have shown promising data that this therapy works for the treatment of COVID-19 in patients at severe risk of progressing to severe symptoms or hospitalization. To date, more than 6,600 Michiganders have received treatment, with 65% reported feeling better in 2 days. The therapy is administered through an intravenous infusion and is designed for those who have tested positive for COVID-19 and have mild to moderate symptoms. According to the FDA, this therapy is effective against the B.1.1.7 UK variant, the predominant form of COVID currently seen in Michigan. Additional information on monoclonal antibody therapy can be found on the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services website and michigan.gov/COVID therapy. As Michigan and the nation work to safely distribute COVID-19 vaccines, Michigan's public transit systems have the infrastructure to support the equitable distribution of vaccines to people across the state who face transportation and access challenges in rural and urban areas and communities. CATA is working with the state, local health departments, and regional transportation partners to give free rides to scheduled COVID-19 appointments. All individuals with proof of a COVID-19 vaccination appointment are eligible for free transportation service. CATA rides are available 7 days a week to vaccination sites. At the April 13 Township Board meeting, the board voted unanimously to expand Redi-Ride services in the township. The topic was originally brought up at the March 16 Township Board meeting. Redi-Ride will now serve these locations: Autism Centers of Michigan, Lansing Urgent Care in Hazlet, Gilden Woods Early Care and Preschool in Hazlet, Monticello's Market and Butcher Block, Hope Network Neuro Rehabilitation in East Lansing, and Pleasantries of East Lansing. Treasurer Phil DeShane spoke on why he felt like it was important to offer this expansion to township residents.
We discussed this last week. We want Redi-Ride to be as available for as many of our residents to as many locations as we can feasibly do it without pushing the Redi-Ride bus way outside the township, which would then decrease availability. These are all very reasonable locations. The one I wanted to add was Pleasantries, to provide the access for medical and recreational marijuana for any resident. And the others came from you and Trustee Opsimer. I think they're all good locations, and I think they will enhance Redi-Ride.
Redi-Ride is an advanced reservation curb-to-curb service offered through CATA that allows riders to schedule the specific time they'd like to ride. In December of 2020, Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed a bill into law that placed a moratorium on water shutoffs. This allowed people struggling financially due to the COVID-19 pandemic to still have access to their water and utilities despite not being able to pay their bills. However, this order ended on March 31st, 2021. Director of Public Works and Engineering, Derek Perry, spoke to the board on their April 13th meeting about why he thought they should extend the moratorium in Meridian Township.
But that state law now is expired. It expired on March 31st, 2021. So now we're kind of in a position where we need to determine maybe an end date for our program here locally. And what I'm recommending is June 30th of 2021. And the reason that is the CDC put together a moratorium on evictions, and they're using the date of June 30th, 2021 too. So it does a couple things. One, it coincides with the CDC recommendation, and also allows us then to start reaching out to some of these residential customers that haven't been paying their bill, and allows us to start putting together payment plans and working with those individuals that may not have been able to pay their bills.
The board voted unanimously to extend water shutoffs until June 30th, 2021. Since passing the American Rescue Plan last month, Representative Alyssa Slotkin has been traveling across the 8th Congressional District to discuss how this plan can help those who don't have insurance. More than 67,000 uninsured Michiganders are now eligible for those tax credits. Slotkin held a press conference last week at Sparrow Hospital Physicians where she discussed how this is getting more Michiganders access to affordable health care, especially to those who have been laid off during the pandemic. Slotkin also visited with In-Kind Bakery in Williamston to discuss how small businesses can benefit from different grants and loans provided through the American Rescue Plan. For more information on this plan, you can visit healthcare.gov. Meridian Township recently completed the construction and installation of 2 new flashing beacon crosswalk walking systems. One was installed on Central Park Drive next to the marketplace on the green venue and the large dog park. This was due to the increase in foot traffic generated from those new projects. The other was placed at the intersection of Hazlitt and Van Anna Roads, and this one was requested by residents in that area. Director of Public Works Derek Perry had this to say about the new signals.
So we started installing these about, I want to say maybe 4 years ago as a way to improve pedestrian safety at crossings, especially non-signalized crossings. A lot of these mid-block crossings really had nothing other than markings and maybe a couple of signs. And again, this is another good visual indicator to the vehicular traffic that, you know, adults, children, people on bikes are trying to cross, and to you know, really slow down and use extra caution so these people can get safely across the intersection.
Additional flashing warning beacons will be installed in the township later in 2021, one on Okemos Road and another at the intersection of Hagedorn Road and Shaw Street. An annual prescribed burn was held on Wednesday, April 14th in the Tower Gardens neighborhood in Meridian Township. This burn is held every year, and the fire helps to curb the non-native invasive species and gives the native free adaptive plants a chance to renew. The burn was conducted by David Bornman, LLC, and the Meridian Township Fire Department was also in attendance.
It's different, every jurisdiction is, and up in Meridian Township, we work with Inspector Tavis Millerov up there. I've done this for years, and it's just our policy that they have someone out from the fire department on site. So they came out and observed, as they always do, just in case anything happened. Nothing happened. It was all fine, but we're happy to have them there. And it burned fine. It's hard in the rain gardens because rain gardens are designed to collect stormwater. So after as much rain as we've gotten lately, there's some more standing water in there. When they're wet, those wetter parts of them don't burn, but the upland portions burn fine. Spring has come on really fast this spring. We had some warm weather, and so a lot of plants are up and green. Maybe it was a little bit too green to be ideal. Things don't burn quite as well when they're green up a little bit, but all in all, it was a fine, successful burn day.
The burn was originally scheduled for April 12th, but had to be pushed back due to weather conditions. In the April 13th virtual township board meeting, Fire Chief Mike Hamill introduced the new firefighter paramedic Gavin Ullman with enthusiasm and excitement for the skills and talents he will bring to the Meridian Township Fire Department. Here's what Ullman had to say.
My name is Gavin Ullman. I am very grateful to be here. As much as Chief Hamill said I was a catch for you guys have been a fantastic catch for me. It's been a perfect fit, and I'm super grateful for the opportunity to work here.
Ullman was just officially sworn in this morning by Clerk Guthrie. That video can be viewed on Meridian Township's YouTube. To keep Meridian residents safe and due to the rising number of COVID-19 cases in Michigan, the Township Board came to a consensus in their April 13th virtual meeting to postpone the 4th of July fireworks this year. In the meeting, members said they did not want to encourage the congregation of groups of people, which may lead to the possible spread of the virus. Board members agreed to come back to the topic in the future and to look at possibly hosting fireworks on Labor Day of this year, depending on the number of COVID-19 cases in the summer. Cliff Walls, the coordinator for the Greater Lansing Regional Committee for Stormwater Management, gave some helpful tips on how Meridian residents can help keep watersheds and water quality healthy.
With temperatures rising and outdoor activities becoming more frequent, Cliff Walls, the coordinator for the Greater Lansing Regional Committee for Stormwater Management, provided some tips and strategies for Meridian residents who want to keep their watersheds and water quality healthy. Walls said the best practice for washing your car is utilizing a commercial car wash. If you can't cover the expenses of one, he suggests washing your car on your lawn so that the soil soaks up all of the runoff from your car. Pet waste left on lawns can allow bacteria and pathogens into storm drains. This goes directly to our waterways. This is why Walls says it's important to pick up after your pets and to properly dispose of pet waste. Lawn fertilizer can also be harmful to water quality. Walls said the best plan of action is to not use fertilizer at all, but if you absolutely need to, he suggests getting a fertile test and learning everything you need to know about your lawn. With HOMTV, I'm Caroline Miller.
There are a variety of resources available to homeowners, residents, and businesses on mywatershed.org, and more tips and strategies on how to maintain your home and lawn while protecting water sources. Organizations like the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, U.S. Small Business Administration, Lansing Regional Chamber, and Lansing Economic Area Partnership are providing grants for businesses struggling through the pandemic. The $28.6 billion Restaurant Revitalization Fund, part of the Biden administration's $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan Act, will offer direct grants to restaurants and other qualifying food businesses, offering urgent relief to those hurting businesses. The Bikes for Books program is a reading incentive program sponsored by the Michigan Masons. Students who successfully achieve their reading goals will have an opportunity to be awarded a bike and a helmet. HOMTV's Isabella Martin spoke with two-time bike winner Neil Patel and Masons Mike Nevels and Jack Voss about the program. Let's take a look.
Neil Patel likes doing things most 10-year-olds like.
Me and my sister, we race a lot.
Biking. And his mom says he's pretty competitive.
Third grade, and he won it in fourth grade, which was like back to back.
Neil has figured out that keeping his nose in a book pays off in a big way.
You gotta read a lot.
Neil knew that if he read a lot of books, there was a chance he'd win a bike. He knew he had a chance because he won the year before too.
It didn't really come through until I went to sleep, and I'm just like, I won it. Like, oh. It was just like, wow.
It's all part of the Bikes for Books program, a reading incentive program sponsored by the Michigan Masons.
Studies show that people who read do better in life too, and it's fun. So we jumped on this about 5 years ago and started the program here in our community.
Masons Mike Nevels and Jack Voss get a payoff too.
Deliver these bikes to the kids in the school. Their smiles are just wonderful. To me, that's the payment for the whole year of work right there.
And this past year, Neil and 31 other Okemos and Hazlitt students finally got their payoff.
2020 was our 5th year of doing the program, and all totaled now, we've had more than 800 of the forms submitted to 7 books per form. So that's almost 6,000 books that have been read over the 5 years. And we're glad to say that 94 lucky 3rd through 6th grade boys and girls have won brand new bikes and helmets.
Like Kenna Baumgard.
I was like super happy because I've never won a bike before. And I think it was in my school's gym, so.
Of course, the ceremony looked a little different. Socially distanced at the Masonic Lodge instead of a standing room only gymnasium. But Kenna and Neil don't mind. They'll be parading up and down the street on their new bikes for everyone to see. With HOMTV, I'm Isabella Martin.
Thank you, Isabella. For more information on the Bikes for Books program, visit michiganmasons.org or email masonsupport@michiganmasons.org. Harris Nature Center summer camps are back for 2021. Camps are arranged and designed for all different age groups. There are 1-day, 2-day, or 4-day camps to choose from. Camp experiences include nature activities, hikes, games, and crafts. Preschool camps will be from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Kindergarten through 6th grade camps run from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. or 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. One-day camps are $25, two-day camps are $50, and four-day camps are $100. Checks can be addressed to Meridian Township. Camp days have been shortened to 2.5 hours with a morning and afternoon session to choose from. There will be a 1-to-5 staff to camper ratio per age group to allow for social distancing. You can register online by visiting the Meridian Township Parks and Recreation Registration System, ActiveNet, or call the Harris Nature Center at 517-349-3866 and fill out and mail the form and payment from the 2021 Summer Day Camp brochure. Meridian Township will hold a special election on Tuesday, May 4th for voters in the Okemos Public School District to vote on 2 millage proposals. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The 2 proposals on the ballot are the Okemos Public Schools Operating Millage Renewal Proposal and the Okemos Public Schools Sinking Fund Proposal. Full ballot language is available on the clerk's office webpage. HOMTV also conducted an interview with Okemos Superintendent John Hood. He talked about the 2 proposals in depth and what they would mean for Okemos schools. Those both can be viewed on HOMTV's YouTube. Ingham County Clerk Barb Byram announced April 1st that she had purchased and implemented a fingerprint scanner that may be used during the concealed pistol license application process to more efficiently assist Ingham County residents. Currently, applicants must complete a training class that complies with Michigan's firearms laws, submit an application with the clerk's office, and then have a set of their fingerprints taken so that the Michigan State Police can conduct a background check. The process could take several weeks as clerks have 45 days after fingerprints have been taken and submitted or approve or deny the application. April serves as Sexual Assault Awareness Month to raise awareness and discussion about domestic and sexual assault or violence. End Violent Encounters is hosting events and webinars all month long. Sam Stiles, the Community Outreach Coordinator, said the nonprofit organization's mission is to support domestic and sexual abuse survivors, as well as survivors of stalking and elder abuse.
Domestic and sexual violence by nature can make survivors feel very alone and isolated. The community sometimes might further that feeling of isolation or just aloneness. Maybe it's, by blaming survivors or minimizing or ignoring, assaults or abuse. And if people don't feel safe and welcome to talk about what happened to them, they're going to be silent. And then that's that problem's going to perpetuate, right? So it's on us to stop this. And we have to create an environment where, survivors do feel safe and welcomed and accepted. And we just need to start by believing them. That's the biggest thing that we can do. But then also we need to start holding perpetrators accountable.
There are many ways people can get involved to help survivors on their journey to healing, such as volunteering, donating your time, talents, or money, attending awareness events or online webinars, and sharing social media posts in support. April is also Child Abuse Awareness Month. Nearly 700,000 children in the U.S. are abused each year. In 2020, Michigan investigated nearly 64,000 cases of child abuse. The Small Talk Children's Advocacy Center in Lansing brings awareness to those who are victims of child sexual abuse. Partnered with the National Children's Alliance, Small Talk coordinates investigations into child abuse in Ingham and Eaton counties. HOMTV's Isabella Martin spoke with Alex Brace, the executive director of Small Talk, as they talked about the importance of this month and how it can be used to educate the public on child abuse.
So April is a big month for us at Small Talk. So like you said, it is Child Abuse Prevention or Awareness Month. And we want to just bring as many people information and education on child abuse prevention as possible. A lot of the work that we do at our center is very reactive. When a child discloses that there's abuse, they come to our center. We provide them with a safe space to be able to share their stories, and then we're providing them with free counseling afterwards as well. But I think what's equally important is preventing that abuse from happening in the first place. And I think people just don't have the knowledge or the understanding or, understand the gravity of child abuse in our community and communities across our country, across the globe. This is when we talk about a lot of public health concerns, especially with COVID, these last several months. But child abuse is, just as much of a public health concern. There's, 1 in 6 boys and 1 in 4 girls will be abused before they turn the age of 18. That's a really significant number. And I think when people hear those kind of things, it really brings to light how important being educated on what to do when a child discloses to you, or what kind of signs to look out for, to make sure that our children are safe. And as adults, it is our responsibility to make sure that we can keep children in our community protected from child abuse as much as possible.
One way Small Talk is bringing awareness to this month is with their Pinwheels for Prevention campaign. To get involved, Small Talk invites community members to donate, educate, and volunteer. For $25, a pinwheel garden kit will be shipped to your home or workplace of choice. To learn more about preventing child abuse and to get involved with Small Talk, visit their website at www.smalltalkcac.org/prevention. It's that time of year again, spring cleaning. Spring cleaning can feel like an impossible task to accomplish, but I sat down with Trevor Hoover, the owner of Reclaim by Design, which operates as Meridian Township's recycling center, to discuss tips on how to get started.
Man, if you're like me, spring cleaning can feel extremely overwhelming. Luckily, I sat down with Trevor Hoover, the owner of Reclaim by Design, that serves as Meridian Township's recycling center. He gave some helpful tips on how to start spring cleaning.
I would go big stuff first, and then work your way down to smaller stuff. Like start with furniture, start with exercise machines, that kind of thing, and then work your way down.
Once your items are organized, Hoover said you can bring them to Reclaim by Design to either recycle or dispose of.
As far as like spring cleaning, if you're cleaning out a mattress or something, we can take box springs and mattresses. We can take anything metal. So if you have old exercise equipment or old bed frames, really anything metal you can get recycled pretty easily. Or you can just swing in anytime. Anytime we're open. We always have someone on staff, at least one person on staff. And we can tell you whether we can take it or not. Some things have a fee, like if it has gas or oil in it, there'll usually be like a $5 fee, or anything with Freon, usually like a refrigerator or a dehumidifier. Then there'll be another $5 fee on those.
Hoover said Reclaim by Design accepts certain paper, cardboard, plastic, foam, glass, and metal for recycling.
Simple as it gets. You can show up anytime we're open. You pull right in. We usually have pretty big, bright signs. And again, if you have a question, you have something on the border, come find us.
With HOMTV, I'm Caroline Miller. Again, Reclaim by Design can take anything outside of toxic waste, and anyone can call or drive by during its working hours to recycle or dispose of any spring cleaning waste. Miss Dig 811 is a Michigan nonprofit corporation that operates as the underground utility safety notification system for the entire state. Miss Dig provides free service to homeowners, excavators, and more. HOMTV's Kwaku Achini tells us more.
Make sure to call Miss Dig 811 next time you decide to dig around your house, as there may be utility lines nearby. Miss Dig 811 will assist you in getting professionals to come to your house and to mark where those utility lines can be. If you contact Miss Dig 811 72 hours prior to excavation, they will help you out with this. This has been Kwaku Achini, HOMTV.
Miss Dig is available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. More information can be found on their website. The stretch of Powell Road from Grand River to Gaysboro Lane will be closed through the first week of May. The road will be closed for a road reconstruction project. Georgetown subdivision residents are advised to access through Tyhart Road, approximately 500 feet north. No access is available from Grand River Avenue. The road will remain closed until the project is expected to be finished in May. More information on construction updates can be found on the Township Project section of the Township website. That's all for this episode of Meridian News Now. Remember, you can stay up to date with Township News by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and of course, HOMTV.net. I'm Caroline Miller. Thanks for watching and have a great day.